Welcome to MCRch is what it's called this month.
Yeah, we actually have not talked about pronunciation.
We haven't, and also
That's not okay.
what does that mean?
We'll get into it, don't worry.
We planned out this entire year, like I would say
Experts.
3 years ago or something. It's all been in the works for a while. And there's specifically one person in the niche, as they call it, who seems to be completely reading our minds. And
it's honestly like to the point where I felt like there was a chance that we had been hacked and that the G-chat tier that is guaranteed to, if not get us canceled, like ruin most of our friendships.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really
like
have
maybe
much
someone
going
really
for
did
me.
have access to it.
It did seem like that. So I think it's, I mean, I'm not going to look it up. I'm pretty sure it's Bunkerton, who we've never said their name on here. Bunkerton predicted February, predicted MCRch, and also predicted that you were going to do the solo All the Small Things episode that's available at patreon.com/155pod. But that one in particular was when I was like, okay, we've literally been hacked. And then
it was way too much.
But then I remembered the episode before you were like, by the way, I'm doing a solo thing that you've been waiting for forever. So maybe
because I was very concerned about it, and then people were like, how'd you realize that? Like, well, he basically says it in the episode.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, we are going to do
stupid, I would say.
MCRch.
MCRch.
We're regular Paul McCarthy over here.
It sounds like an air farce character. You know, like the guy who used to host Get Stuffed. Do you remember that classic air farce character?
I do want to talk to you about Canada, actually. But let's get into the punk news segment first before we get into McCarch. Here we go. Punk news, P-U-N-K-N-E-W-S. What is punk news? I'm secretly chewing a cookie, and I think it's not going to ruin the secret.
Episode. I can hear you chewing, and you're telling us. You're just letting us know that you're chewing.
You know what? There's no hair in it. I'm finally eating something that doesn't have hair inside of it.
Wow. This is, you know what? It's because you kind of did complain about hair food last episode, and so maybe the universe has finally heard you sending it back to the kitchen, and they're keeping their hair for themselves. I don't send it back.
That's the thing. I'll just eat your hair because I don't want to seem like a... I don't want to.
I'm going to mail you so much of my hair.
I don't want to be a hair Karen, you know?
Heron.
Last week on Punk News, we talked about Deborah DiGiovanni.
Now, what is Punk News?
It's kind of like... Okay, do you know what the news is?
No.
It's like happenings, I guess.
Okay.
Very Society of
like
board.
You know, like the Merry Pranksters, like that kind of situation, those kinds of happenings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Except really boring and to do with Wall Street or something. Now, what if you took that? What if you took Wall Street and transported it over to Gilman Street? Is kind of what this is.
I feel like that should be incorporated into that. I know that the theme is good, but from Wall Street to Gilman Street is, I don't hate it. Maybe that could be the title of your TEDx talk. We of course got into...
Imagine if the GG...
I got TEDx on the brain because of exclusive.
Imagine if the GG of GG Allen stood for Gordon Gekko is kind of what it would be.
Okay, I think I understand.
But last week we talked about Deborah DiGiovanni or something from Video on Trial. And then that very night I watched, which I don't know if you've watched yet or not. I don't know if you can even say because I know you're friends with someone on it. But
there's many reasons why I'm not allowed to officially comment, but I believe you were talking about the new Amazon Canada series, LOL, Last One Laughing, right?
Which is like the most fucked thing I've ever seen. It's simultaneously so funny and so embarrassing. It's like it's like a beautiful, like, I feel like I'm getting beauty rest while I watch it. It's just so many feelings at once.
Is it a European format or something? Like
it's originally Japanese, and then they made it, they've done it all over. But then they added your buddy Jay Baruchel, who, like, man, what a host! What a host on that thing.
I can't wait to watch it. I can't wait.
You haven't watched it yet. I mean, that's the thing.
No, I'm saving it. Look, things have been busy. I'm very busy watching Reacher. Yeah. Reacher's taking up most of my time.
Okay, well, I mean, you'll get to see Deborah DiGiovanni when you watch it too. So it's kind of be a little throwback to Punk News segment. But today's Punk News segment We are
recording. It was a video on trial. I don't think it was a Punk News throwback.
Well, we were talking. Oh yeah, you're right. Fuck, I thought that was a video on trial. God damn it! This is just terrible so far. This episode.
Maybe just take another bite of your cookie because I feel like maybe you need it.
Yeah, I'll take a bite of my cookie. It's so good. It's like a purple yam cookie from this.
What the fuck does that even mean?
It's like this gentrifier bibimbap place around here.
Oh, wow. Okay. Great. I feel like I'm tasting it too. Thank you.
Why don't you say your punk news while I enjoy this?
Okay. Well, my punk news. As everyone knows, I'm a bit of a crypto head, a little bit of a Web3 enthusiast, and so of course I was elated to be reading on my favorite website, cryptonews.com, about Punk Angels. This is the creation of world-renowned artist Punk Me Tender. This, of course, is the debut NFT collection from Punk Me Tender. But it's not just an NFT collection. It's an incubator and a social change movement.
Yes, finally.
Yeah. So for those of you who have been sort of wary maybe of sort of stepping into NFTs, of perhaps getting hacked and having all your apes stolen, maybe this is for you. Maybe Punk Angels is for you because the Punk Angels movement is here.
These are dope as hell, actually.
They look amazing. Now the Punk
They
Angels
all look like different hairdressers, pretty much.
Yeah. Everyone here looks like they worked at Coop Bazaar at some point.
They're all single mothers, whether or not they have children. Kind of the look. Pink is what I'm getting, actually.
Well, it is interesting that you say that they are single mothers because the artist says that they do embody freedom. So, of course, the freedom of single motherhood, inclusivity, and empowerment.
Let's go.
Introducing art, fashion, and social change to the metaverse.
How many punk things? I mean, I guess it's because Web 3.0 is all about disrupting, which is very D-beat, a diss word. But, I mean, how much... Because this is already the second time that you've done a crypto thing on Punk News segment.
Yeah, because that's my beat. The real reason will probably bore you, but it's sort of like the OG kind of... like NFT in this style, like the kind of profile picture thing is CryptoPunks, right? I mean, that's been in the freaking news.
And then I think there was a currency called Punk that they were trying to Zuck with it or something. Do you remember?
Yeah, there's some Zuckage happening. But of course, if you get one of these Punk Angel NFTs, you will secure your invitation to the in-person event, the Punk Angels Club Summit. So
let's go.
There's the Punk Angels Club Mansion. Just a lot to look forward to with this exciting new. Punk Angels really is just such a fucking excellent name.
It's so good. It's so cool. Wow.
And let's not forget again the artist name, world-renowned artist that of course we all know, Punk Me Tender.
Punk Me Tender. Well, Punk Me Tender. It kind of
that's the expression that we all make. I mean, here I'm going to send you
Punk
Me Tenders.
We all know and Punk.
We all know in Punk. I mean, this is one of those things where, like, this is an Instagram account with 130,000 followers that sort of, at least by name, makes me feel like I should have one kind of follower in common, but that is not the case.
Oh, there's a TikTok. Is Punk Me Tender a dude who wears tie-dye pants?
I think Punk Me Tender might be a dude who wears tie-dye pants.
Wow. Oh, he's fucking writing graph also. Let's go.
Yeah,
tight. Punk Me Tenders definitely looks like the third chain smoker, and he's the one empowering women. So that's fucking tight.
Yeah, so finally a non-misogynist chain smoker.
Finally, a white guy who's standing up for the women out there via crypto. It's great.
Yeah. So as a fellow white guy, thank you for making us all.
This guy's so cool.
I know.
He is Punk. I could just. He looks like he would be someone would go on one date with him on the hills, and then they would argue about how much he tipped or something.
For sure,
it would be like a 3-year arc because of that. Sam, I like that your Punk news this week is in order to get us rich quickly. I think.
Yeah, we all want to get rich, but why not get it as quickly as possible so you can enjoy it now?
My current method of having 2 incredibly esoteric and difficult podcasts running simultaneously, releasing about 9 hours of content a week for about 5 people, is not working as quickly as I'd like. So I would enjoy, and that's why mine is also to get us rich quick. I don't know if you're able to speak Swedish, but I think you might still get the vibe from this video.
I am quite capable of doing it.
Från de galna genierna bakom Fire in the Hole och punkrocker kommer nu ännu en extrem volatil slottsuccé. Punk Toilet. Med banbrytande features som vi alla älskar och nervkittlande freespins så garanterar spelet maxad spänning.
So I think you probably
hyper.com.
get the answer. It's from Hyper. Hyper.com.
Wow. It is a fake ass language. Like it's not real. I don't understand why they get mad at Swedish Chef because that is how you all sound. So this is like a gambling app called
has anyone ever been angry at Swedish Chef for like doing a racism, you think?
I think so. Swedish Chef racism allegations. Let's see. Here someone on Quora did ask why isn't the Swedish Chef in the Muppets considered racist?
That's true. Yeah, you're exactly right. Punk Toilet is
go a little bit dig in here now, guys.
A punk-themed slot machine app where I think you can make it.
Spins. Print for.
He's doing some shit spins. This vlogger, but he gets a mega win on the Punk Toilet slot machine. I was reading up on Punk Toilet, and yeah, so it's basically.
Oh my god! Look at this screen.
It's from the same developers who made Punk screen. Rocket, but they've updated the skin, and now you're in a bathroom in a dive bar, a punker dive bar. As you can see,
there's a glory hole.
There's a glory hole.
I don't think of that as being a punk bar thing. No Limit City. That's where the Punk Toilet is. Wow.
Yeah, there's. So I've looked at quite a few websites that have reviewed it in depth. The Punk Toilet app. There are characters. They all have mohawks. All the characters, including Stephen Hawking is one of the characters.
Sick.
And there's like a Sid Vicious ripoff guy, Albert Einstein with a mohawk. And other anarchy in the UK inspired Scrabbles that take a piss on pop culture. I'm not really sure what that means. Of course, the Slots soundtrack is a theme with bad production and the true nature of punk. So yeah, it's just kind of like this cool. You're basically in a punk bar doing spins. It kind of looks like I assume Toronto has tons of these, and in Montreal there's lots of them. But like those like kind of like I feel like a precursor to crypto. Those like galleries that have just like post Banksy paintings of Lisa Simpson in the window.
Monkey split. Oh, these can be decent.
It's a little distracting with this guy.
How much is this? It's
He's literally doing an impression of Swedish Chef.
But you can somehow actually gamble real money on these apps, which that's
awesome. We should do that. We should put all of our Patreon money for
to the Punk Toilet.
MCRch. By the way, the character who hosts Get Stuffed on Air First was named Jock McBile. Just to close the loop on that.
That's very punk as well.
Yeah, so just punks all over the place here.
Is that the Mona Lisa in the bottom left corner? She kind of looks like the Joker and Robert Smith at the same time.
Damn, that's pretty sick. By the way, I'm not seeing it in this video, but it turns out that in addition to some of the characters you named, there is Churchill in punk gear taking a piss, which is like the punkest thing you can, I think, do with your body. And then the monkey is intended to be dressed as the queen. R.I.P. I mean, we don't know. The moment you and I are recording, we don't know if the queen is dead or not.
Right.
So this will be funny if the queen does actually die. Fun, as we
the
do.
robot symbol is paying.
Well, I'm tempted to play.
I think you gotta
I
have
do
the
kind of.
mega
It has like a
spectacle.
nice sort of arcade game
really think
animation style. I don't know how to.
Is this guy
explain it.
speaking English? Because I feel like he's just. Oh, the spins like.
Oh, now he's muted because you said that. You got shy.
43,054. Holy shit with monkeys. Holy bananas. Nice. 43K. Thank you.
This guy's not Swedish.
So check out Punk Toilet and also the Punk. What was it called? Punk Angels.
Punk Angels and Punk Toilet. Those are our two endorsements in the SpawnCon part of the pod this week.
Sam, are you okay?
That's exactly how I was going to start it, but I can't hear the music. So, Josiah, I'm not okay. I promise. Just kidding. I'm fine.
You were, but when we were talking about doing this song, you were particularly angry about the "I promise" in parentheses on this.
Yeah, because look, we got a level set. It's a new month. Mm-hmm. We're talking all MCR.
It feels kind of like we're going to be doing the exact same thing as February a little bit. It kind of feels like it's going to be the exact same fandom, the exact same kind of weird nerd.
I don't think it's the same fandom.
It seems similar. Maybe not the same.
I think there's an overlap, but I feel like, Fall Out Boy was maybe more embraced kind of quickly by jocks and normies. Whereas I think just look at the My Chemical Romance font. This was for people who were not okay, they promise. Because there's nothing and this is not because from everything that I've read, it genuinely seems I think everybody in this band seems quite cool. Gerard Way seems very nice, but there's a real literalness to how not okay the band is and how you as a listener are. And I feel with Fall Out Boy, something that we talked about, in the very first interview, with Jamie Coletta was that I do think there was this intellectual attraction to that band that a lot of people had with this verbose song titles and these kind of literate lyrics, which is, always you're just sort of couching your fandom in things that you think reflect well on yourself. But I feel like MCR is more akin to a band MCRch is more like a band like AFI, where they got huge, but they were always for they stayed for the weirdos in a way that Fall Out Boy was not interested or able to do.
But I think Fall Out Boy is only listened to by weirdos, but the kind of weirdos who do all of their house shopping at the As Seen on TV store, and everything in their house is some form of Snuggie or some sort of nasty little cozy, sex pillow with a panda on it or something. I don't know. Here's what I think. I think Fall Out Boy is almost impossible to understand their appeal if you don't get it, because all of their songs are so terrible, except for sometimes if you squint your ears, there's one chorus that's good every 10 years. Whereas my experience with MCR is that there's these vast polarities where some of their songs, like this one, even though I have no history with them, when they're on, I'm this might be the best song I've ever heard in my life. But then someone plays you an album track and you're holy shit, this sucks. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's big swings for me. There are My Chemical Romance songs that I think are just transcendent. And there are songs where I just don't understand how anyone publicly admits to not just liking this band, but when they announced the reunion shows, it sort of reminds me of when wrestling happens and all of a sudden your entire Twitter feed is all about wrestling, and it's kind of baffling because you're I didn't know that about everyone that I followed on this website. And with the My Chemical Romance reunion sort of scramble for tickets, I was am I the only person that I know who didn't really care about this band? Did you have the same experience?
That's because you literally are okay. You're just...
I think that's it. I'm too okay. I promise.
I'm okay. I don't promise is my little twist on it.
Damn.
I don't know.
That is a little twisted.
I feel I feel it's very and I'm allowed to say this because I am one. I feel it's very blue check to be performatively into My Chemical Romance in the 2020s.
I like how you're allowed to say can't be that's racist. First it was Swedish Chef, then it was Blue Checks. You can't be this bigoted on pod. Save it for the G-Chat.
I feel having a blue check does make you're marked, and it's kind of blue checks are persecuted out there for sure.
Yeah, you have this opinion. I'm aware.
I don't know. I just honestly think I always thought I was too cool, or was into cooler shit than this. And other than media people who talk with a plug nose and say the vibe is changing, I don't really know anyone who like. Yeah, I don't know. It's just not really like it's just not my field. I'm not sitting at that meme table, if you know what I mean.
I feel like in my real life, I don't know any. Maybe I know like one big My Chemical Romance fan, and they were like, "Oh, so you like Alkaline Trio?" And you like there are all these factors where you're like, I like people doing spooky pop punk, but I think it's interesting what you said about this idea of like Blue Checks performatively being into My Chemical Romance, because it speaks to I think what I was trying to articulate at the beginning, which is that liking My Chemical Romance is a sign that you're still, or you were at some point, a weirdo. Because listening to Fall Out Boy, I do think was just like, that was just normal. And listening to things like, because I think about like, I did not like this didn't work for me, but I loved Dashboard, which is like much like raw and worse to listen to.
Did you say raw?
Raw.
Like Scenester?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to
idea
think,
how fucked my hair looks
real
right
quick
now.
though, what do you think? Because I also think there's an age thing at play.
Oh, there's 100% an age thing.
We're definitely doing some age play right now. But I wonder what's our thing of, or do you think that you didn't have something that you were performatively into to show that you were different? I mean,
no, I don't think it was about being performatively into it, but I do think now it's a way of doing that, because if you were like into Dashboard, all it meant was that like you went to summer camp. You know, Jimmy, or like I think of other bands in the same, like Thursday is almost like Thursday became like cool, like they kind of were really like raw, and then they became like you could pretend that you liked them because they were like a sick post-hardcore band, and you like I like Envy and I like Thursday or whatever. Whereas this band just feels so rooted in a like the font alone, right? And so it's a way of trying to reveal something about yourself.
Yeah, I feel like maybe.
But you're asking for our generation, what would that be?
I don't even think it's our generation. Maybe it's just in your like I feel like for me it's like being like I'm into Seisha and Orchid. That's like the way of showing that I'm not okay. And then like this mainstream version of whatever it is, I would be like, nah, I don't fuck with that. But at the same time, listening to this again right now, or basically I've heard it like when I went to emo night one time in LA, I feel like they played this song like 100 times in that night. And it was sick as all hell, because what I love about it is that it's also just secretly classic rock. And
totally. Like the guitar solo?
The guitar solo is unbelievably good. It's so good.
Well, and that's always been, to me, like the secret of the My Chemical Romance songs that I like, because they are played at a certain speed, like especially in this era. Like Helena, I actually don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that, is so fucking sick. And obviously by the time you get to Black Parade, there's this real classic rock grandiosity that they kind of deliberately steered into. But it feels like on this record, it's a little more under the surface. There's way more of an attempt to just be like a kind of Warped Tour / Taste of Chaos, which we will talk about, kind of like emo punk band, but there's obviously so much more happening. Like, but the time the guitar solo happened in this song, I was like, do I fucking love this song? And then the like kind of spoken word, like I'm really sad part happened, and I was like, I'm uncomfortable.
So because you don't like this song.
I like aspects of this song, but to me, I just don't know why you would listen to this song when Helena is just sitting right fucking there. And it's like an infinitely superior version of this era of this band.
I think you don't like when you can tell what people's feelings are, too.
I think that's it. It's just, it's way
It's right there in the title, and you're like, I don't want to know that this
It is, the title just sets
okay.
me off. Like, I just, it reminds me of an era in which I already had, like, I think checked out of this. I was just like, oh, it's so, like, aggressively MySpacey.
Yeah.
Like, it's so...
I Promise it reminds me of, like, those t-shirts that said, like, Snarkasm loading, and had, like, a loading bar, or, like, I don't know, some shit like that.
But I want to make it clear, like, I don't fault anyone for like falling in love with this band and this. Like, I don't think there's anything actually embarrassing about this. It's just like, for me, it
liking any music is embarrassing, I think.
I know that's your take for sure. But no, this completely does not do it for me, except for, I mean, the solo. And it's melodically, it's really good, but I just don't want to hear about I'm not okay. Like, what?
If the song was I'm okay, which is actually
if the song was
that's a grown-up song. I forgot that is. I've written a song called "I'm Okay," but
I mean that's it. I think in the bridge it gets flipped with like "I'm okay," and I'm like that. Why don't you make it all like that? Why don't you just build the whole song out of the positivity?
You're like instead of being what is this song about? And also and flip
I'm
side,
so glad
why
you
is it
asked.
not about being in the van with your friends going on tour?
That's the thing. If it was just like I'm not okay because I've been driving too long, you're like, oh, okay, sick. The van's not okay. I promise.
The 90-minute
drives
drives that you do on tour from town to town.
Yeah. Like again, I like what I like. So what's interesting about this is there's like a very, very specific summary of the song's narrative on Genius that then spending 2 seconds like looking at the rest of the internet is definitely not true. But I want to read this anyway because I think it's fucking nuts. The story of the song is about a girl with interpersonal. The story of the song is about. I mean, already you're fucked. A girl with interpersonal problems, such as her boyfriend sharing her naked photos, asking for help from her friend, the narrator.
I hate those Okay, already. If you're having and here's the thing, we've all been there. When you're having interpersonal problems that include your boyfriend sharing your naked photos and the narrator won't help you. I hate when the narrator won't help. They're like, I'm sorry, but I can't break the fourth wall right now. I need to stay up here in the subtext. And
is
the
bullshit.
narrator in the subtext?
Be better, narrators.
Yeah.
No, but it's interesting that you say that because the narrator in the song is suffering from his own very real problems, but puts them aside to help the girl out who doesn't really listen to him. The running theme throughout the song is that she really does not understand other people's problems. I feel like this whole thing is just someone working out their own very fucked up like issues. She loves all these songs with deep meanings, claims they speak to her and that she can relate, but she really doesn't know what any of it means. The narrator finally tries to get through to her so she can understand that her problems are very different from his. Hers are external, his are internal. And that doesn't mean that his are any less real or painful. So it's like,
so it's basically
I'm
the plot
truly twisted one.
It's the plot, and that's why I was eating a cookie earlier to remind you of this. But it's the plot of the Will Ferrell fantasy comedy movie Stranger Than Fiction, where he's hearing the author Emma Thompson's voice in his head, and then he discovers that that's his narrator, and he has to figure out what to do. Is it kind of like that? Is that what it is?
Well, I think so, except that it turns out if you read like any other interview or website, and so, for example, lyricalinterpretations.com.
Wow, this is a new one. We've never seen this before. Look at this layout. Right? Oh my God.
It's kind of like, it's kind of exciting.
I'm really excited about this website. Currently trending XXXTentacion, Sugar Ray, Eminem, Post Malone, Metallica. I mean, this is
all the hits.
This is my new homepage. Absolutely.
You should definitely bookmark this. Absolutely. Anytime you open a new tab, this is what opens. It is a quote from a Gerard Way interview, which I then saw a few other places. When I was writing it, I was remembering how hard it is to be a 16-year-old in high school. I always wanted to be an artist, so I was this loner kid who got drunk all the time. I only had one real friend. There was this girl I really liked, and she ended up taking really sleazy photographs with her boyfriend, and that really crushed me. I was just swimming in this pit of despair, jealousy, and alcoholism. So ultimately, this song is about slut-shaming someone for taking photos with their boyfriend consensually.
Gerard. Well, I mean,
disappointing Gerard.
That doesn't,
who again seems like a very delightful man.
He seems like a kind of. I mean, he turns all of his shit into comic books, right? I mean, that kind of tracks with that. Any like classic, you go back and read Daniel Klaus, it's kind of all the same shit too. So it's kind of it tracks for sure. What I'm saying is, people who are into or write comic books are all incels.
That's an interesting hot take, and. As someone who got into comics during the pandemic, I agree.
Right.
Some other interpretation. Really, this is clearly it, but songfacts.com. Have we used this one before?
I don't think so. I think MCRch is already delivering a whole bunch of new lyric interpretation sites with all kinds of other 13-year-olds who have poor comprehension skills writing about.
Yeah. So look, I mean, they kind of break it down, the jealousy. Like, that interpretation seems pretty accurate, but what I found particularly interesting is the way this song ties to the concept of the CD. So obviously, this is the very first single from Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge, which
annoying
is the second
title. They've got annoying titles, for sure.
Yeah, big time, big time. So this is like, the reintroduction of the band to the world after moving off of, I always want to call Eyeball, who put out the first MCRch album, Earache, and I get really confused. I'm like, there's all these emo bands on Earache.
Right. And Earache is normally like a long goatee, like sludge metal. Is that right?
There's like grindcore and stuff.
Okay. I thought it was like Kios or whatever.
Yeah, it's more extreme. So this is the first single, and so that it sort of sets the stage for the story of this album, which at least according to songfacts.com, this song ties into the concept of the CD. I like calling it a CD and not an album. A man and woman, Helena, get in a car crash, and the man dies and goes to hell. But the woman survives, even though the man at first thinks she is dead as well. The man has to kill 1,000 evil souls to be with Helena again. So this song could also be about that man not being okay. Which
this is an interesting website, because if you click the little arrows, it says who suggested it and where they're from. So this is Tanya from Botswana had said that. Mm-hmm. Prior to that, the one before, this was inspired by lead singer Gerard Way's experience in high school. He was really in love with this girl, but I found all these photographs she had taken with her boyfriend, and Gerard felt really upset. Kind of what Gerard already said, and the correct one, David from Calgary says that.
Oh, shout out Calgary.
Congrats, David. You've made it onto the pod.
You did it. You're on the pod. I love the idea of like, listen, this guy dies. He finds out he's got to kill 1,000 demons, and then this song is about him being wicked bummed about that.
Does it say anything about any of that on here? I don't think so.
It does. It says he's got to kill 1,000 demons.
Oh, really?
Just find 1,000 evil souls. And apparently that's true, because there is like a literal, basically it's true. There's a Gerard Way quote that says, this album is the story of a man and woman who are separated by death in a gunfight. So it's not a car crash. And he goes to hell only to realize by the devil telling him she's alive. The devil says he can be with her again if he brings the devil the souls of 1,000 evil men, and the man agrees to it. And so the devil hands him a gun.
So people that who wear black dress shirts and red ties to school are always talking about this kind of shit and thinking about this kind of stuff. And I was excited about the octave chords and the classic rock guitar solo, and I'm just like, get out of here, you nerds.
Now you're just thinking about slaying. If you were given a gun and the devil said you have to bring
I would kill the nerds who like this.
So those would be the evil souls that you'd go to right away.
Yeah, nerds. No, I'm kidding. This is parody. I'm not threatening any nerds right now.
Not going to kill any nerds. It's interesting that you mentioned killing, because I don't know that we're going to have an opportunity to talk about this otherwise, but evidently it's like a key part of MCR lore that the band was formed because of 9/11.
Oh my God, really?
I think as we look at pivoting from being a vibe-based podcast into I don't think that we're ready to be a facts-based podcast.
There's a vibe shift coming.
I think it makes sense for us to simply settle into what was always our natural state, which is being a 9/11 based
That's true.
podcast.
Damn, this guy just called 9/11 based.
Look at it, I'm doing irony, man.
They did. Yeah, I know that they did do a tour with Piebald. Which, never mind. That's for me.
What does Piebald have to do with 9/11?
The Piebald thing is just a me and Sam feed thing, but I'm still annoyed by it.
It is quite annoying, I know. Who else they toured with, though? You talk about the black shirts and the red ties. Is on this album, they supported Green Day on the American Idiot tour.
Right, but I'm saying before that, they were just on this tour with Piebald, they were the first band opening, and they played at Messaluna in Vancouver. And I think this band called The Medic played, METIC. I could be wrong, but I think they played and later became Lady Hawk. And they were so sick. And I never went. And I was always like, damn, I wonder if I should have gone. But when MCRch first started, were they just a normal emo band, or did they still have all this grandiosity? And they were just playing
sort of
opening.
A normal, very New Jersey, Jeff from Thursday produces the first record. I think.
Oh, I found it. I was right.
Oh yeah, that's the lineup.
January 2003 at Messaluna.
Shit.
Piebald.
No, I think they were a sort of vaguely spooky, but basically just a kind of an emo, that wave of screamo. band. Which, like, it's really interesting. So this being the first single, like classic kind of because this is the major label debut, right? This single, there's like a video that's just some like very small venue live footage and them like hanging out. Like it's just one of those like boring like pastiche hangout videos.
Right.
And then I guess it started to perform, and that's where the like super big music video comes from. So I don't know if when you were listening to the song before we recorded, you watched the video, but there are two. So there's like the boring one, and then there's this gigantic fucking one that apparently, and I feel like this is kind of the same as Fall Out Boy, where I don't feel like this got the same level of saturation on Much Music, because in the same era of Fall Out Boy, again, we were being force-fed sort of Canadian products of a similar flavor. And this video is on like all these like Fuse's 25 best emo videos of all time. Like this is a big time iconic music video that I had never fucking seen before.
Is it? So when I searched it, there was one that said dialogue / MTV version, and I hit
That's
play.
the one.
There was all this annoying talking, and I was like, I'm not fucking... Like, I think the thing for me with My Chemical Romance is I really don't want to know anything about the lore of it.
Yeah.
You know?
The dialogue in that video is, to be honest, pretty funny. And we'll come back to it because the dialogue in that video is in and of itself, like the video now, very iconic. But it was directed by Mark Webb, who, of course, made it his feature directorial debut with 500 Days of Summer.
Oh, that's also a movie about how women are stupid, right? Isn't it?
Basically, I think. Yeah, that's his whole thing.
Same vibe.
He also made the Spider-Man movies with Andrew Garfield in them, I think. Yeah, he made those, the sort of forgotten Spider-Mans.
Yeah. Aw, Andrew Garfield, he's so cute. Poor guy. Just want to give him a little pinch on the cheek. Tell him it's going to be okay.
He's a very sweet little guy.
He did the movie with one of the Marvel guys where he fell in love with Jenny Slate as well on the set of that. Chris Evans, they started dating on the set of Gifted as well.
Oh,
that's nice.
That's fascinating.
And he's rebooting Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. This guy's doing all kinds of shit.
Well, he's been in the news, right? Because what's his name? Dinklage, right? Was talking some shit.
He was talking mad shit.
Mark Webb getting his name dragged through the news by Peter Dinklage.
I'm going to go ahead and say Mark Webb's a piece of shit. He did a brand new video. He did this video that has a bunch of narration over top. Get out of here, nerd.
Well, look, it's interesting that you're mad about the narration because the narration is truly a big part of this because we're going now into a part of the episode that I like to call the small business zone, a celebration of small businesses.
Wait, hang on 1 second. Before you go any further, we need to, let me just see.
You're not ready to enter the small business zone with me?
1 second. I
think
we
we just big business zone?
Just hang on. 1 second here. What am I trying to do here? Copy link address.
See, I'm trying to vamp because it's obvious that you're struggling right now.
Say it again.
We're entering the small business zone.
That's your theme music. Okay. That was worth it, I think. I think that was worth it.
Absolutely was. I mean, really, it should have been the sound of like, let's be honest. I mean, that's a little bit of an anachronism. It should have been, like the sound of your debit card tapping, maybe. Can you play that? Can you play the sound of a debit card tapping?
I'm just going to search small business sound effect and see what do they think it should be. No, it's cash register again. It's just
okay. I guess that's fine. It's still a cash only business. That's fine.
Here's what we'll do. While we're in this section, we're going to listen to the hum of an office ambience in the background.
Okay, that's good. It's a little loud here. So
it's very loud.
Turning it down on my end. So look, you were annoyed by the dialogue, but the dialogue, it seems like, is truly a crucial part of this song, of this band's lore. There are so many Etsy products that memorialize the dialogue. So the opening dialogue in which Gerard Way and the other guy, the solo king,
Frank?
Who knows? No, Frank's the more...
I know there's a guy named Frank that people like a lot.
Yeah, I think Frank's the other guitar player.
So this Raymond. There's a guy named Raymond.
That's not right.
Gerard and Raymond. You're telling me this is a band that you all love?
I guess it's Raymond.
Ray Toro.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Okay, that makes someone's phone's ringing. And so this is like you should really look at the kind of mounted version. This is like a poster that's kind of like a line drawing of Gerard and Raymond. Wow, how old is this fucking band? Hanging out on the steps of the school while Ray explains to Gerard, I guess, why he is unlucky in love. You like D&D, Audrey Hepburn, Fangoria, Harry Houdini, and croquet. You can't swim, you can't dance, you don't know karate. Face it, you're never going to make it.
So back then, like, prospective dates were like, you can swim though, right? That was like a thing that wouldn't get you.
Everyone knows that swimming. I mean, I assume you're a huge part of your courting was
swimming.
Was swimming related, right?
It was? I don't think so.
Yeah, you guys met at the pool, doing laps.
Sarah was
splashing. Just having a little splash. Here's on the croquet tip. Here, this is like I like this because it's more winking. Like, I actually do think this is clever. It's simply 2 croquet mallets crossed. You got the croquet ball, and at the top it says, "I'm okay, trust me." And I think that's...
I don't get it. What's the... I'm not croquet?
There's a lot of croquet... Well, no, there's a lot of croquet in the video, right? You didn't watch the rest of the video. They play croquet. It's like very Heathers-y.
Okay.
The amount of croquet that happens in this video. So this is like a little wink and a nudge there from Andrew Rose Studios, one of our many great small business partners.
I love small businesses.
Well, then you're going to love this small business. This is another one of the cross-stitch section of the pod here.
Can you
celebrating.
do that? Whenever you cross-stitch a cuss word, that's like probably the most subversive thing you could do.
It's pretty dangerous.
This says, "I'm not fucking K." This is probably, I would say, because Sarah's really into cross-stitching, so I'm kind of used to being around these things. I think this is probably about 6 inches tall, max, maybe 5 inches tall, and they're charging $66 with $30 delivery. So you could spend $100 on this.
But that's just what good art costs.
That's true.
I mean, you can't buy
that's
all
how
of
you
your...
know it's good.
That's why this is the small business zone. This is not Amazon zone.
That's true. You do need to pay more to counter the smallness.
Yeah, you got to go big to go small. and here we have another one of these just like beautiful kind of poster boards that you could put up. This just features the lyrics in the bridge, I guess. I'm telling you the truth. I mean this. I'm okay. Trust me. And then, of course, it does include these are sort of 2, I guess, dueling minimalist wall art poster sets. That's what this is. And on the other one, you have you can't swim, you can't dance, and you don't know karate.
So, I mean, this is a little hypocritical coming from me, and I've already been quite hypocritical regarding blue checks, but the music video is just somebody talking over the entire thing and saying this annoying, like, Baz Luhrmann type of
No, there's
speech.
sort of like dialogue that is interspersed throughout. It's like very of the moment in terms of like a music video being a little short film. There's a lot. It's kind of set up to be like a fake movie trailer, and there are like titles but it also looks quite like the production value obviously of the video itself is good, but then the editing looks like it was done in iMovie. Like it's very like in a world.
Right. Well, that's just Mark Webb. Are we still in the small business zone?
No, we're out of the small business zone.
Okay, let's
you can take
play
us
the
out.
theme song. That was so quiet that time.
Yeah, because we had to turn down from the business ambiance. Now, look, there are not a lot of live videos because kind of the same as Fall Out Boy, there was just like the band was already huge by the time, or like this comes out and they immediately are like one of the biggest bands of this like moment. They are touring with huge bands. It's not like cool club shows where you and I would kind of salivate. So the only live video that I really wanted to watch was them performing on Conan O'Brien.
Do you think when they were opening with Piebald, they already knew they were going to sign and blow up, and it was just kind of like a technicality? Like
I don't know, because
all the great DIY bands open for Piebald,
as everyone knows. When is that show that you found the poster for?
2003.
So I don't know. Like at that point, I mean, I think they're still just touring the Eyeball Records album. You brought My Bullets. I brought you. I just love the idea of, once again, like February, where we're like, this is designed to just make people fucking angry. I brought you my bullets. You brought me your love. Which is often regarded as a concept album. Wow, they love the concept albums.
They love all this
Bonnie
shit.
And Clyde.
My Chemical Romance reminds me a lot of Christopher from Gilmore Girls because of how much they love lore. And that's just a really clever joke just for those of you out there who enjoy the work of Amy Sherman Palladino. God bless you.
So I think they might just be like a very buzzy, because like in 2004, there are still singles for this album, for the independent album coming out. So I think they're just like a buzzy band in the underground when they're going on tour with Piebald. I don't think that's them checking like the industry plant box.
Okay,
you're good.
I'm
you're
good. That's all I need
so
to know.
let's watch Conan O'Brien introduce the song.
Oh yes,
in 2004. Just always nice to check in on our friends.
Everybody, we're back. 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge is the new album by my next guest, who in February will be appearing nationwide on the Taste of Chaos tour. Please welcome My Chemical Romance.
I love how we pronounce My Chemical.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But this isn't cool because they're just dressed kind of normally and like very like if you slightly later they play this song on Letterman, and on Letterman they're in full like they're in the black and the red.
He did an extraneous hi
He
mom
also
and dad
does some
on the
okay hand symbols in this, which are like dicey.
This song
hand.
absolutely cooks.
Yeah. I don't like when he talks to the bridge.
Well, if you want it on the street, that's all you have to say.
Like he's wearing a tie, but they haven't like synced up on it.
That's true, yeah. Having just one guy in a tie and the rest of them being like hella schlubby is pretty bad.
Yeah. Oh man, you know what I forgot, which is very important, which is that like on this record, this band was formed by Gerard Way and the drummer, whose name was Matt Pellicier. And he plays on the record, but I think like right after the record comes out, it gets kicked out of the band. And there's like nothing really on the Wikipedia about it or whatever. But when you Google why did Matt Pellicier leave MCR, you get this very compelling answer from Cora, which is that it wasn't confirmed. So that's not the drummer on this one. This is like the new drummer. His name is probably like Engelbert or whatever. Right. It wasn't confirmed, but it's rumored that he was asked to leave because he burnt the band's first van that was given to them by Gerard's grandmother. Which is kind of intense. Another rumor is that he tried to sue Eyeball Records for not being paid since the album I Brought You My Bullets, You Brought Me Your Love. So any one of those is an exciting
Freelance
reason.
ain't free. He's working for exposure, and that's no bueno.
Yeah. But I prefer the version of this where he burns the band's first van and they're like, that's it, man.
So it's really remarkable, and I haven't really confirmed it, but I'm pretty sure. Oh yes,
Like
I'm
this
pretty
is
sure Gerard
fucking
Way
great.
looks a lot like Billy Corgan, pretty much all the time, and that's so sick.
He is like a very cool looking guy. And like this band, like once this band decided to be like extremely aesthetic, and we've got a whole month to talk about it, you're like, he looks awesome. But I particularly love that now that his job is just like comics guy, he looks incredibly normal. He just seems like a nice, happy guy, even though he's not okay, he promises. Like I've really kind of fallen in love with Gerard Way through the process of thinking about MCRch.
I just love these old Conan videos. It reminds me of like seeing At the Drive-In on Conan, and just it sounds like shit. And
How
everyone's wearing bell
transformative
bottoms.
it is. Yeah, totally. Like, I want to know if there's anybody who is listening to this who fell in love with this band from watching this, because like, he must exist.
Yeah, probably.
And that's the research part of the episode. That's the facts-based part
All right.
of the episode.
Well, let's shift.
The vibes are shifting out here.
Let's go into covers. How about we do that now?
I would love to do that.
Before we do that, actually, there's a lot of other songs called I'm Not Okay. And real quick, I want to check out this rapper named Crypt. Speaking of very normal-looking guys, this is a very successful-seeming rapper who just kind of looks like an IT guy named Crypt. And he has a song called I'm Not Okay. So...
But does he promise?
I don't think he does. I think he promises via his rhymes. with that rain? I had skipped ahead earlier, but this intro is incredible. Rest in peace, Bridge Man.
Is that who this song is for, do you think? I mean, Bridgeman is featured quite prominently in the video. Nope, that was just someone else's grave. That was.
Seems like every time I go and try and pick up the mic,
Oh,
I rap
shit.
about the things that don't really affect me in life, like how I'm great at articulating my bars that are right.
The weird
or how
thing
the fame
is,
will
like,
never
this
change a
guy's
single thought in my mind.
popular
I rap
as
about
hell.
who I'm better than any rapper in sight. I rap about who would kill him on a beat if they even
He
try
has
to rap
over
about
a
who would
million
eat him and then make
subscribers
fun of
on
my
YouTube.
sides. I rap about
Wow.
who's rappers and tell them to die because I get so angry when they don't even think when they're right. But come to think of it, when it comes to thinking, neither do I. I like to act like I'm the greatest to ever rink out a
How?
rhymes. Who am
It
I
has, like,
convincing? I like
the
to keep my
Swule
confidence high, but I lie to myself every time that I say
vocal
it out loud.
production
Deep
on
inside,
it.
I'm scared to write about what's in my mind. All these sensitive topics are bottled up really tight, and I can't take a
think
sip
he's
because taking
ma-
this it brings my demons
Oh,
to
most
life.
of his
I'm not
videos are
alright.
like
I'm
rapper
not okay.
reacts to
I can't rap
Blackpink.
about the things that are causing pain. It leaves a stain when I put
So this is
Okay, now it's-
Crypt,
now it's cool.
and he
I like
fucking
Crypt.
cooks on the mic. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like we're just barely scratching the surface of MCRch and how they kind of have influenced, the idea of punk and what that means in the mall, and how even the mall has changed, and how now it's like a lot of, as you were saying, in the small business zone, lots of retail experiences have changed. And what does that mean to be a mall punk, essentially, as the mall is now
Interesting question.
kind of Amazon online, or even Ally Express or something. And sort of, I think the ultimate post mall punk that I can think of is the band 21 Pilots, who've covered "I'm Not Okay" by My Chemical Romance Live.
Oh, people are loving it.
I think I love 21 Pilots, but I think they got canceled or something.
Did they?
I don't know. I think everyone was mad at them, not just because they suck so bad.
Here we go.
Whoa! There's a real piano on stage just for him to stand on top of. I would love to see 21 Pilots live.
Oh, here, I'm checking it. I'm on filmdaily.co. Why is everyone canceling 21 Pilots for man Tyler Joseph? Tyler Joseph is looking a bit stressed out. I think that's a 21 Pilots song.
Yeah.
After what he thought was a peaceful tweet promoting the Black Lives Matter movement. However, fans aren't impressed with the frontman's sudden need to help African Americans in their struggle, as his tweet was apparently way too late.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
That's
damn.
it. I think one of them is married to the lady who was in a Netflix show about like weight, as like a comedy about weight. I think it was basically Shallow Hal, but they made a new version of it with a girl on Netflix. Or maybe that's the guy from All Time Low. I don't know. I can't keep track, but either way, that was 21 Pilots. Maybe we'll do 21. Maybe we'll do 12 pilots, an entire year of 21 Pilots months.
Yeah.
Next year. Up next, Trivium. Now, who's that? Is that a bad metal band? I think that seems right.
Aren't they like?
The guy from Trivium did.
They're like a kind of new metal-y, right?
Maybe are they gent? Maybe.
Maybe.
But the guy from Trivium, Matt Heafy, he's unplugged on Twitch for the Republic of Gamers. Oh, Trivium with Mastodon poster on the background. Why was Mastodon like marketed as like a sort of hipster metal band? Terrible band, Mastodon. Absolutely dog shit.
I mean, Blood and Thunder is like a unbelievable.
What is this guy's voice?
When you broke your foot from jumping out the second floor, I'm not okay.
I see how it fits into the rhyme and everything, but remember when you broke your foot is such a strange non sequitur for lyrics.
It's so good.
This is insane.
I just like that clearly, like normally there's maybe more shredding happening on this stream, so we've got the cameras, close up on the fretboard and the strumming, where it's just like real normal hours there.
What kind of band is Trivium? What is this? I mean, I don't think there's too many covers to get through for us to go on a Trivium.
I know.
Sidetrack,
I mean, I can't. It's hard to tell because like Wikipedia will never just be like they're this guys.
Yeah,
heavy metal, thrash metal, metalcore, progressive metal.
Is it like that? What's that guy's name? Devin Townsend. I feel like it's that kind of.
No, Devin Townsend fucking rocks.
Yeah,
okay,
I knew you would say it. I fucking knew you would say that.
Yeah, you set me up. I think you're right that this is probably like genty. Because like all of those words together, like along Trivium, gent. Yeah, okay. This is, and the associated acts is like a YouTuber. So
right, yeah.
I think that tells you what you need.
We're in a very YouTubey section now. This is the band Halocene. We once previously enjoyed them dressed up in Star Wars costumes, doing like a sad version of Princess Leia.
Yeah.
This is just so YouTubery.
Oh, these are the titles from the video, by the way.
I just want you to know that your sort of hesitance to embrace the song because of how feelings based it was definitely translates to the cover section for sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people really wanting you to know that they're not okay. They just need some crypto angel punks.
I think that's the problem is they're getting rich too slow.
Yeah, this is terrible. While we're kind of in the YouTuber section, Ska-Tune Network did do
like Hawaiian shirts,
a ska version of this.
PBR, and appropriating Jamaican culture.
Whoa.
You can't skank, you can't mosh.
Is this the...
Face it, you're never going to be the fourth wave.
I don't want to be the fourth wave. I just want to...
Whoa, so that was kind of playing
a parody.
That was playing on the...
Yeah, playing off the video.
You know, Ska-Tune Network videos... Now that enough time has passed, I'm going to say it's definitely extremely pandering, and it gets me every time.
Yeah. And also, like, the sort of faux Gerard Way kind of eye makeup that's actually...
Checkers?
Like checkerboard. It's pretty good.
It's so good.
Like all of these videos are so great. This one I really like though because this feels like an earlier one.
Yeah, it's super
like
lo-fi.
It's just like in a pretty normal living room as opposed to like a kind of vibed out bedroom studio.
It's so
this is great.
Undeniably so fun. While we're in the YouTuber zone, this person popped up the other day because they were like part of some brand activation with Simple Plan. I guess Simple Plan is back now too. They're hoping people forget about the bass player stuff.
We've moved on.
So all is forgiven.
Yeah.
They have a new song with Derek Whibley, so we might have to talk about that one day. But this guy,
I hope we do.
This guy seems like some sort of mortifying YouTuber who's really playing up the emo night type of thing. Matt Cutshaw. He also was on the TV show Awkwardness, which I used to love, actually. He's done a few of these videos called Felt Emo Again, Might Delete. I haven't watched this yet, but I already know it's going to be the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Wrong?
But
Nothing. You haven't been acting like yourself.
I'm fine. I'm just a little bit stressed out.
Matt, you can talk to me. Are you okay?
Actually, I'm not okay.
Matt, no. I am trying to have a serious conversation with you right now.
Ended up transforming into an emo while driving his convertible.
That's all you had to say.
What's wrong with you?
I never want to let you down.
I mean, this
I don't know.
This is like the worst.
This
is the worst thing I think we've watched in maybe years. And we probably should keep watching a bit more.
Better off this way for all the dirty looks. The photographs your boyfriend.
Is it like a convertible Mini Cooper?
I think so. I didn't even know they made that.
He's just dangerously. I mean, somehow I still love the song, even though that made me want to die.
Well, here's the thing. Like, actually hearing it, you can't slow this shit down.
Mm-hmm. Well, we can't. I mean, we're going to a lot right now. But first, here's I forgot to put this beside the other. This is Halocene with Lauren Babick and Violent Orlandi. Kind of a more rockin' version of it with some more. There's so much. We're gonna see so many YouTube faces and hear so much vocal fry of every kind. Can't wait. Did you see that?
Yeah, was this a fake DJ Khaled quote?
There's gonna be a lot of quiet vocal fry and a lot of rocker mama like.
Remember when you broke your foot is good. Like it is a great chorus. I can't handle the lyrics. Like I just can't.
Well, maybe you'd like them if they were done by 1960s Motown style for Puddle's Pity Party.
This I might like.
Anderson. Wasn't that stanky bass tone?
It's like it's getting dangerously close to the brown note there. This is the most it's ever been extremely apparent that they're not playing this live. Like, I feel like this woman is not good at lip syncing. Right. Like, the mouth shape, all wrong.
Maybe that's just how much control she has. Oh, look at that dancing.
The bass player is like doing a lot of. I know that this is stinky eyes at the camera, and it's making me really uncomfortable.
What is the
no one else is looking at the camera.
Back to your business coming. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Mm-hmm.
What is the cultural or even like societal value of making cover videos? What is the purpose of life? Maybe it's more of an existential question. Why are any of us doing this stuff? What's the value? I mean, it's not. You just got like these people get really good at doing something really annoying with something that's good. And it's just interesting, is all.
They put in the 10,000 hours on
the wrong thing. Yeah,
on
exactly.
This. Yeah.
Well, let's keep going because there's so many. This is
I can see.
Fatin Majidi, I think. And she has done makeup so that it looks like she's crying the whole time. So that's cool.
Uh-oh.
A cool vibe for Sam. I think we're gonna get Sam to open up about his feelings this month. Is the goal. I mean, this could be you.
Wow. Glitter tears.
Well, if you wanted honesty, that's all you have to say. Never want to let you down or have you go. It's better off this
The
way.
melody in the song is like unbelievable.
Yeah, that little better off this way part is so good.
Yeah.
Remember when you broke your foot? What is this instrumental?
Yeah, this is like. It feels very cinematic.
Oh, now she's looking straight into the camera. Crying like that.
What will it take to show you that it's not the life it seems? I've told you time and time again, you sing the words, but don't know what it means to be a true.
So that was that one with the cries. This one is even
Okay, so this is like
in the bathtub. This person has so many followers on YouTube. Like all these people are like legit YouTube famous. Abby Glover, 1.1 million subscribers. The caption of this is just the word meh.
I mean, I think this is cool.
You do? You're down with this?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Welcome to my diary in song form, and welcome to the family. Says Abby Marie Glover.
This just sounds like Julian Baker.
It's true. It also sounds a lot like worship music. Heaven greets earth like a sloppy wet kiss.
What?
It sounds like that song.
Sloppy wet kiss. That's a thing.
Yeah, that's one of the hits. It's a great one.
All right, cool.
So that was Abby in the bath, showing off this broken heart tattoo as well.
Mm-hmm. There's something just like very earnestly teenage about this, like.
But that's the scary part. This person's not there's no way they're a teenager.
Don't remind me that, because this makes me feel like I'm like, okay, that's who this is for. But so don't tell me that they're in their 30s.
100,000 followers on Insta.
Damn, good job.
Good job, Abby.
Great work.
You're killing it.
I mean, it just sounds so much like Julian Baker. Right?
That's true. I like the line "I'm not okay" when it's like blasting out on top of a butt rock anthem. But then the more earnest it gets, the more you like it. That's very strange.
Just that one.
Let's see if you like Katie Jackson. Another.
Everything else, I want to make this clear. My opinion is the same.
That it's great. That you love feelings and eye contact.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of audio
so
eye contact and visual eye contact. True. 15K subscribers.
Every time this video cuts, it's her looking away, and then she moves her eyes to the camera, and then it cuts again.
She's like doing a slow-mo version of the news broadcaster thing.
Yeah, totally.
If you wanted honesty, that's all you had to say. I never want.
Everyone feels this so deeply.
Yeah, and it's
no one has ever meant anything like they mean the lyrics to this song.
But it's about 9/11, you said, right? Or
no,
all of their songs
Skylines and Turnstiles is about 9/11, but basically just the whole band is about 9/11.
Well, I mean, everything is really.
That's what we've determined through our tragedy-based podcast.
She really enunciated.
You broke your foot from jumping out the second floor. I'm not okay. I'm not okay.
You should start a sad YouTube cover channel. You've got the goods.
It's true. Well, I mean, there's so many more to show you. Here's Eliza Grace, another eye contact rocker. I think this one's acoustic.
Oh fuck, man!
So much shallow depth of field and let's go. Interesting guitar.
God damn.
So intimate.
Everyone just stop looking at the camera.
Stop looking at me. It does really work as a singer-songwriter tune.
Yeah, it's if you go with the finger pick, you know what I mean? Versus just the gentle strum or the lush electronic instrumentation. Because there's something about that just makes it feel very teenage, you know? Whereas the other stuff feels very fratty.
Well, I mean, I feel like I have been kind of creeping you out with the intimacy.
You have been.
But at the risk of creeping you out even more, I gotta just get a little bit more intimate. This guy made it.
Is this your cover of it?
I'm gonna do it. Can you actually turn your camera on so I can make eye contact with you and to let you know my feelings? No, I'm kidding.
Here.
I'm joking.
I'm on camera now.
Adam.
Hey.
Oh, you are. Oh my God, I'm watching Sam listen.
I'm making eye contact.
How are you feeling? How are you?
Oh, now we're both on camera. I can't do
eye contact on this side.
The best thing is we're just doing this for ourselves. No one can see it. Okay, I'm turning my camera off. I didn't like that.
No, this is going to be even creepier than that, which is this guy made it so that it looks like you're being a voyeur and looking into his house while he sings.
Oh no, thank you.
This is Adam Melcher. Another just app. All you had to do to blow up your YouTube account. I mean, Sam was talking about Black Midi or whatever. You just needed to do an acoustic, heartfelt cover of "I'm Not Okay."
I mean, now it's locked up, but it originally was the handheld. Is someone helping out and filming outside. Looks like there's snow on the roof, like in the winter.
This actually honestly looks so cool.
It is. The locked off version of it is weird, but like this sort of like camcorder-y. This is cool.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
But in a great way.
I just don't like that there are two shots.
Kind of green screened or something.
Yeah.
Will it take to show you that it's not the life it seems?
I mean, we got so many to get through. I guess this one, the final Acousty, this is Millie Tizzard. I think Millie Tizzard is a great name. And I think Millie is killing it, too, on the Acousty front.
Strumming already.
She's being earnest, but she's not, like, overly selling it. She's a little bit aloof, which I think is helping.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, no, this is different than, like... And there's not a lot of... So far, there's no eye contact.
Yeah, there's no eye. She doesn't. Her eyes are closed. She doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, this is good.
Oh, that wasn't
a glance.
Just a glance.
Just to make sure the recording's still going.
She's just to show that she's aware that we're here, but not.
This is good. I'm in a tizzy about this. Tizzing out.
Millie Tizzard is such a cool name. You think it's a stage name?
It's too wild. I think Mildred Tizzard. Let's find out. Is this also like a very popular? Because like maybe she has a famous birthdays or something.
Do you have plants like this in your house? Like, do you have house plants?
We have a few smaller plants. We recently got a bigger plant.
I feel like having plants is like a level of adulthood that I'll never reach in my life.
I mean, they rock.
I don't think I would. I don't think I understand how it works. I don't think I could do it.
I mean, I don't run the plants.
I feel like I would rather spend my money on candy or something than that. I just feel like I'm too much of a child for that. Millie Tizzard's doing pretty good on
yeah.
Good work, Millie. That was sick. Okay, well, here's something else that's mortifying. And this one I think would have worked for kind of any of the months. This is Christina, Catherine, Lisa, Amy, Lauren, and there's Cimarelli. And there's Brian White.
We are going to do
so this is
emo medley.
This is an emo medley. This is 9 minutes long. I have the time code, we need, but I think we should just check out a little bit of it at the start, too.
My diamond rings, they're not to see.
This is like a major label singing group is what they're classified as.
Are they really? They're a major label?
Yeah, this is they're signed to Island.
Oh my god, yes. Let's skip ahead a little bit.
As I stood, I counted the webs from all the spiders, catching things and eating their insides.
Remember this shit?
Like indecision to call you.
I don't know this song.
And hear your voice of treason.
Now that girl's rocking some punk pants.
Stop this pain tonight. We're going down, down, and
oh yeah, Cimarelli.
Cimarelli's cooking. And Brian is holding it down on this.
Yo, I love Cimarelli. Oh, they're just having such a great time.
They're just fucking vibing the fuck out. Here's what, the lighting change. Yeah.
I mean, I do appreciate this song just feels like it's built for people to like put their hands over their heads and like scream. Like when you saw this at Emo Night, I bet it was super fun, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there are certain punk people, if they saw this video, they would literally like spontaneously combust.
No, this is punk.
It is. I know it is.
I like that their sort of rocker attire is like, yeah, the sort of punk pants. I think one of them is in a Newfound Glory hoodie, and then there's a Def Leppard shirt, which I imagine was like the best that they could do.
What's the girl on the left? Oh, she just has a butterfly. And then the girl with the punk pants, her sure it says something on it, but I can't figure out what it says. But methinks this won't be the last we see. Oh, it says no thanks. Well, methinks we'll be revisiting Cimarelli because they fucking rock.
I mean, I will be just on my own time.
But it kind of in the similar vibe, a sort of jam session. This next group is just called Area And. So it's like ARIAH and then an ampersand, which is already like a very sick vibe. Kind of taking the supergroup thing to a bit of a funkier level. And this is from earlier this year.
I initially thought this was Santa Monica.
Ooh, yeah, you okay? My bad.
Oh, you got it. It's okay.
What about an intro?
You're good.
There we go. You're right. Thank you.
Oh yeah, get that bass cooking. Why is the bass player not on stage?
I don't know, but he is cooking.
The Cimarellis they're all sisters.
Oh, really?
The Cimarelli sisters, 5 homeschooled sisters. But I don't know that the bass is strictly necessary here.
No way, he's holding it down.
I don't think they're playing in the same key.
He's playing it like it's fretless, but I think it does have frets, but he doesn't give a fuck. What kind of music is this? It's so good. This is one of my favorite covers in a long time.
Wow.
But like, so there's 3 ladies on stage. One of them's playing guitar. One of them's just a singer. One of them's singing, but she's holding a sax. And this is over 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
We don't have time to watch her. Do you think she plays the sax?
I think you got to scrub ahead. This is Chekhov's saxophone, you know?
Who needs to know?
Oh, she can do the guitar solo?
Come on.
She put the reed in her mouth. She's keeping it wet.
Oh yeah, she's keeping it wet. Maybe she's gonna. Come on. Where's that sax? Yes, there we go. This is the sickest version of the song. This is so good. This is unfucking believable. Live at Rockwood Music Hall earlier this year. Where's Rockwood? Rockwood Music Hall.
Rockwood feels like a real Springfield.
It's in New York City. It's a 2-minute walk from Cat's Delicatessen. Let's go.
I don't know. It could be like the Rockwood Music Hall in Rockwood, Ontario. This is like classic New York culture. Wow.
So that was Area And with an ampersand. Keeping kind of the vibes going in strange places, this is Hair Jordan, the name of this person. And as you can see, why they do have hair. And also they are a corpse.
If you wanted honesty, that's all you had to say. I never want to let
I like how they're wearing, usually a YouTuber like dresses like a skeleton like this and then just sings really good, but I feel like Hair Jordan is trying to sing like a skeleton would sing.
I'm jumping off the second floor.
Also, the piano just sounds like an Andrew WK song. It's great.
I'm not okay.
The Andrew WK version of this would be I'm okay though.
That's true.
And that's why I love Andrew WK.
Andrew WK's commitment to the bit.
What will it take to show you that it's a bit? It's not the life it seems. I've told you time and time again.
And it's also not even the same guy.
That's true.
Yeah.
I love this one because it seems like.
Sorry, I messed up. I can't get that part right. Screw it. I'm not.
That seemed like it was on purpose.
Yeah, that was a little like.
Okay.
Oh fuck! Come on!
I liked it though. I feel like this person has created like a cringe space that it's impossible to be cringe in a bad way because it's all so cringy that it's just kind of like feels comfortable. It's lived in. It's earned.
Comfortably cringe.
I love it. Okay, but how about taking the classic rock and ramping it up a little bit with this old ass rocker. This is KFJ official. 44 views in the last 4 years.
Real old rocker vibes here.
He looks, like, I don't know who all the members of current Misfits are, or Sam Hain or whatever, but he looks like one of those guys that people know.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, I love the effect on this.
I know, it's so cool.
Photographs your boyfriend took. Remember when you broke your foot? Jumping out the
When you broke your foot, it makes me laugh every time.
It looks like remember that band, the Black Halos?
Yeah, it totally looks like the guy from that. Yeah, this guy's pretty sick.
Having the Black Halos once threatened to beat me up.
Oh, because of your book?
Yeah.
He was right.
Yeah, you should.
This guy he does have like that kind of like glam rock major label punker guy. But he's like,
or just he covers a guy in a documentary from like, you're like, oh, it's the bass player from
like the one guy who didn't sell out properly and now still lives in the same apartment. But he's just like covered Blink-182 and plain white tees. Oh, Age of Electric. That means he must be Canadian, right?
Oh, for sure. Maybe it is the guy from the Black Hills. What was his name?
KFJ? Wow, Age of Electric. He must be Canadian. I bet you this guy is from Vancouver, actually.
KFJ. I don't think any of... The singer of the Black Hills is Billy Hopeless.
I love KFJ, but we got to keep it moving. So this is Gregory Crimson, kind of a similar stage name, similar rocker vibe, but he has a little bit of the Jay Baruchel look to him.
Ooh, yeah.
But also, he's got some serious moves.
Oh, this is fucking terrible. He looks like a guy playing a dick in a movie.
Yeah. This kind of sounds like Age of Electric, actually. Or Good Band.
No, come on.
He starts doing South Park voice.
Really, like, doing the most of that mic that is not plugged in. Is this parody?
Yeah, he's wearing a necklace that, like, just, like, is for, like, a guy who wants to be interesting.
Yeah.
He's honestly cooking.
I know. I kind of like that it's, like, not auto-tuned, because then it makes the notes that he hits, like, oh, good for you.
He's turning into, like, a sick, like, STI rocker. It's sick. But it does seem like parody when he starts grinding. There's a lot of like struggle rockers playing it. This is Emil Bamashkin, and this guy, impossible to read his vibe. Truly impossible.
This kind of looks like Eric Alper.
He does look like Eric Alper, but he has. I love when a rocker guy has bangs. That's a great start.
Yeah.
I also love when you can hear the strings acoustically louder than the amp. Very interesting board game room that he's rocking in.
It kind of looks like Rick White, but again, like Rick White with bangs.
I never want to let you down.
If I could grow my hair out, I would definitely give myself bangs.
I think wait, you can't grow your hair out.
It doesn't grow long. It just gets like bigger.
So straighten it. Commit.
I should start using a
commit to bangs. But like again, not like swoopy bangs, like just like nice bangs.
These are really nice bangs. This is such a good cover too. I feel like this is
I feel like he also kind of looks like Julie Drouin. Like he just looks like he should be in Eric's Trip.
He does. He kind of looks like if Brian Bell from Weezer had never made it.
To show you that it's not the life it seems. I told you time and
earlier when you were like, what is this sort of like being into My Chemical Romance for like our people? And I think it is posting about liking new Weezer albums.
They're good. They're good albums.
Of course, it's important for you to say that. This is fucking great.
I love this guy. I can't remember what this one is. This is called Cellophane. Celofan.
Cellophane, maybe like the
I think this one was
Miller
just
Stain Limit song, another classic Canadian tune.
This is just a palate cleanser. This is some buds.
Oh yeah,
cooking.
Just pals,
just rocking out.
We love to rock.
But this song truly rocks when it comes.
Yeah, I've been okay built for sure. You know what? The thing is, we also aren't listening to the point where like the talking, like I'm really sad part happens, and so like because that's when it flips for me.
That's the part that upsets you. Well, I think this will be a good section because I think we're on to like the teen bands.
Oh yeah, give me the teens, give me the teens.
These guys are probably not teens. They're also really quite good at it.
Yeah, this is great.
Okay, up next is this is live at the Avcom Battle of the Bands. I think the banter is what gets me at the start. I gotta
Thank you. All right, this next song we're gonna play is the last one of the evening.
I love to hear that kind of voice.
Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for listening. It's called "I'm Not Okay" by My Chemical Romance.
This is by JS Tanther SCN Music.
Sick.
This performance got us into Youth Fest. Let's go.
Yes. Also, like, bright green neon mix. So great.
It's the kind
graphics on screen, like.
Oh, yeah. Northern Virginia is where they are. It's the kind of riff that, like, the more out of tune and sloppy it is, the better it sounds.
Totally, yeah.
People like to go, say.
They want to sing it like Patrick Stump.
It's true.
I prefer Gerard Way's theatricality to Patrick Stump.
Absolutely.
Theatricality.
I love this little boy's green screen bass.
I know, yeah. I feel like it feels right for gags.
They're rocking it.
Yeah,
here's
that's fucking great.
Successfully Untitled is this band.
I've got first song, we're gonna play 2 songs for you tonight. The second one is Not Okay by My Chemical Romance.
Are they British?
I think they're Australian, little Australian boys. Oh yes, make it more out of tune.
Yes.
It sounds like Modest Mouse, like early Modest Mouse. Something I want to think.
Well, I want to hear him sing the chorus.
Okay.
You got to just.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Rules. Something I want to think about this month is like, I mean, I think this song does sound like a punk song musically as well, but it's also definitely more of a classic rock song. Do you think any song that goes is like could be categorized punk? Is that the only thing that makes it sound like punk music? If it goes boom ba boom boom ba boom ba, I think so.
I think also opening up with an octave chord.
Yeah, that's
where
helping.
You're just like ooh, because there's not a lot of like classic rock songs that just start out with like that's very you're like oh I remember this moment.
It's true. It's true. Okay, a couple more teens to get through. This is These guys practice it for 2 days. Actually, this isn't fully teens because there's also a dad, I think, playing bass with his fingers.
A loose dad.
And this is at someone's 40th birthday. Playing electric drums. Dads love to play with their fingers while wearing a suit. This dad definitely looks like he's from Gossip Girl.
Yeah. Who's this cool, hunky dad? Is it a birthday party?
I think so. It's his happy 40th.
Oh, so is this... That dad's not... Looks like a member of Spoon.
It's true. But, like, little boys be singing this song. Like,
little boys be singing.
They're killing it. Okay, the final teen section. This is just a nice after school vibe. 2 teens, one with a fedora on. They're frankly being fedorable. They're just playing the riff together into the camera. I mean, the camera's on the floor. This is just a great vibe all around.
Yeah, like what year is this from? This is one of those things where it looks like it's from 2005, but it's definitely from 2015.
It looks like it's from 1988. 2007.
Okay.
We had way too much fun doing this one. That first part was just something we were doing before we started recording, but we decided to keep it because it was so random. I guess, yeah, there's kind of a sketch.
Getting that lighting right.
It's even brighter. Oh, you can't see us because we're lighting it back. Okay, turn on the second one.
I don't think they decided to keep this part because it was random. I think it's because they didn't know how to edit it out.
Don't know how to edit, yeah.
Well, what do you want?
Look at these friends just
They're
looking
just
at each
having a
other
great
and
time
smiling.
after school. Guaranteed they're not friends anymore. The passage of time.
That's awful. I don't want to live in a world where these two boys are not friends.
They need to get to the fucking point. Lil Doc 911 is the name of this.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, it sounds so good.
Yeah, this is fucking awesome. Oh, see, they're not comfortable enough with each other to be so intimate as to say the song's lyrics.
Yeah, exactly. So good.
The fact that one of them is wearing a fedora and has fingerless gloves on.
Yeah. And Lil Doc 911 is on the right. He's the uploader. He's like way too chill for that kind of shit. He doesn't need to try so hard. He just has a cool chain.
I hope there's just
It kind of sounds like The Strokes, honestly.
Yeah, totally.
Really sick. You know, you start off as a teen covering it with your friend, Lil Doc 911. Eventually, you play the Battle of the Bands. Eventually, you grow up and you become one of the hottest new emo cover bands in your town. This is Tell All Your Friends is the name of the cover band.
It feels like a really huge... First of all...
The Valley's newest pop punk cover band in Phoenix, Arizona.
So there's like what feels like 3 cameras shooting from stage right, and so they just keep doing these like very bizarre kind of jump cuts in. And I did initially feel like their age difference here was like kind of substantial.
We can't. I'm sorry, but we need to let the vocals.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Also, like, look at. Oh. Way too expressive.
So good. What are their rates? What year do you think this video is from, Sam?
2014.
2021, November.
No.
November 2021.
They did this is during the pandemic.
It is.
That's
They don't
quite crazy.
They don't list their rates on here. I'd have to get in touch to figure out how much. And I'm just curious. I don't actually want to hire them.
I just got to express complete interest. As someone who religiously wears earplugs every time I attend or perform a concert, the singer has like massive, like the sort of cheapy foam, like neon orange earplugs that are like so arresting. Like she's otherwise got like suspenders on. Like there's sort of an attempt at a look here. That is just like spend $5 more and get some earplugs that go into your ears. Because also you wear those things, they sound like shit. You can't hear anything.
Well, not everyone can afford the top of the line, Sam. So, particularly with the pay disparity between men and women. So we can take a real asshole right now.
You know, that's a great point. Thank you. Thank you for putting me in my place.
Is she gonna do the spoken word thing now? Maybe we should let her do it. Is this the part you don't like?
She also, like, her default move is this sort of, like, slapping motion. It's, like, just feels very, like, adolescently sexual. Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't know what you would call it. Like, I'm trying to do it and describe that. Hold on, I'm going to turn on my camera again so you can see the move that I'm doing. It's like, can you see? Yeah. It's like it looks like she's doing that. What do you call that?
I took a whole bunch of screenshots. Hopefully I can figure out how to make that into a GIF.
Okay, good. Great. I'm not dressed for potting. This is my, like...
It's a very interesting shirt that you're wearing. I like it.
It's like a cheap hoodie that I got to crush weight, and my hair's not pod ready.
Well,
anyway,
you wanted to do the whatever you called it,
I did want to do
sex
that
thing on camera. Is that what you said?
That's what I called it.
So, the vocals were, I would say, a bit much, but you could also do the vocals while shredding on guitar. Like,
you could do that?
Our new friend thought it would show her name. Andrea Krakowska.
I love this because, like, she is absolutely shredded and not doing, like, even the slightest guitar face. Like, she's doing just like corporate photo. She's doing, like, LinkedIn profile picture face.
She's smizing and smiling.
Yeah. It's so, like, arresting. No one is ever so casually shredded.
She's adding so many little...
This is great. Wait, what's the username?
Andrea Krakowska. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
Yeah, she's covering like Steve Vai and Joe Satriani and stuff. She fucking rocks. Streaming and the internet and video algorithms and stuff have brought back a lot of things, and among them is just like absolutely ripping guitar solos being good.
Yeah.
Like your friend Daniel DK is
totally, yeah.
Like I just fucking love watching him.
It's so satisfying, and it's the perfect context for it because, like, in general, bands that have that amount of shredding are like not necessarily like my type of bands. But if you just like, it's like, why not build the whole song out of the shredding? Excellent.
Exactly.
I definitely want to like hang out and just watch that on Twitch for a minute.
Oh. Yes, girl.
This is yes, girl.
I thought she was gonna add some more layers. There we go. Volume slow.
Oh, yeah.
She still has not broken her realtor photo.
Yeah.
It's impossible to stop this video.
Okay.
Stanky.
I just the realtor smile, right? It's just so
Oh my god!
Great.
Incredible, incredible.
Andrea Kravowski, thank you. Kravowska. Ska. Did you know ska never went away, Josiah?
Did you know that ska is not just the N64 kind of mozzarella stick?
What?
Goofing around third wave. There's other kinds.
Oh, what? No, I had no
There's
idea.
like an old person version of it too. Speaking of, I don't know, whatever. Moving along. I don't play this game, but I love this fictional character. I'm pretty sure you're not going to know who this is, but this is a cover done in the style of the one and only KK Slider from Animal Crossing. I mean, just wait till you hear it. KK Slider has the voice of an angel.
Oh, okay.
He is.
I just look like ka.
I know, it sounds sick. I think musically he's a little more restrained than this. He has more dynamic range, but KK Slider's absolute the king of his domain. So that's KK Slider killing it.
This is fucking great.
But yeah,
Okay.
musically he's a little more complex. Like it was a pretty good impression of the voice at least. I don't remember what this one is. I think I just wrote it down because this person's name is Norbert Christoph. A lot of weird names in the.
This is the weird name zone. This whole section.
Oh yeah, this one is just like more spying. A lot of spying on people too. Is that I thought that was a UFO. I think it's a bird though.
Yeah, it's a cinematic bird.
It's just a video.
Post-production bird. The bird is flying real.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, eh? I guess we were gonna have some more sad feelings about whether or not we're okay this week. I'm sorry.
That's definitely a fake bird.
Could be. Kind of some Jose Gonzalez vibes.
I did see, and I don't think it's in your list, so I can say it. I did see that Matt Pond PA has covered this, and this sounds like someone doing an impression of Matt Pond PA.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Matt Pompier. Isn't that the name of the original drummer of My Chemical Romance?
I believe
the band.
So, also, I think the problem is a lot of people have forgotten about Matt Pond PA.
Forgot about PA. Instead of Dre.
Yeah, that's good. That's pretty good, man.
This is nice, though.
Yeah,
I like this kind of voice, kind of a mid-range, sensey voice. Instead of they're not like selling it hardcore, but they're also not dead inside. I don't know about this video of someone sitting on the end of a pier, though. Kind of want to push them in.
Rude.
Another sensey one is Panucci's Pizza, is what this artist is called. Beautiful art. I think this one is probably the best one in terms of the sensey zone. It's like a watercolor painting of a schoolgirl wearing like a sailor shirt in front of a window with a beautiful sunset and blowing curtains.
Well, if you wanted honesty,
I like it.
that's all you had to say.
It's so wrong.
It's so nice. If it's not going to be a real estate agent smiling while shredding, then I want it to be this.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, because this doesn't feel like calculated. It just feels
From jumping out the second floor. I'm not
okay, it's getting a little bit.
I'm not okay.
Yeah, this is good.
It's still staying in a nice zone. It's not even full dashboard. Yeah, Yeah, that was sick. Panucci's Pizza. Shout out to Panucci's Pizza.
Yum, yum.
All right, a couple left. I wanted to just go back into some less expected instruments. This is uploaded by the Punk Cellist. Now, there are actually 4 cellists on here. Maybe we have to guess which one is punk.
Ooh.
I mean, they've just so many punk things just happened at the very start.
Overwhelmingly punk. Okay, so my eye immediately went to the cellist with the like green hair, kind of punk undercut.
But then the normie one on the top right, who is continually making kind of subversive eyes at the camera, threw up some big devil horns and a tongue out.
And then upper left just sort of looks like normal punk a bit.
It's true, but also maybe wrestler / metal punk.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe
I bet it's going to be the lower right.
I was going to say,
neither of us have called. Like,
yeah, the unexpected punk cellist.
All right, okay, so what's your real bet? What's your real bet here? Because only one of them's wearing. I think it's going to be so again. They're all dressed in black except for the lower right, and I think that's throwing us off. So I actually think it's her. I think it's.
You think it's the lower right?
Pink shirt. Yeah. No, I don't really.
I'm going to go with green hair just to be obvious.
Okay, and I'm going to go with the other option because I don't really think it's lower right. I think it's the metal one, metal gothic.
Well, it turns out clicking through to the page, the punk cellist is a white guy.
What?
It's none of them.
That's an unexpected answer.
And the Punk Cellist did a cover of The Decline.
We watched the Punk Cellist before.
Yeah, we must have.
We watched the Punk Cellist do Lawrence Arms.
Okay. We've been tricked. Fuck the
I can't
Punk
believe we've been
Cellist.
tricked by cellos. Who are these?
Then who are these people? Are they punk or not? Maybe there's some punk cellists, not the punk cellist.
There's the cello doll is one of them.
What I love about...
Which one of them do you think is the cello doll? Okay, it's the one you thought was the punk one.
Oh, really? With the green hair? Do they all have different names of what they are?
Yeah, so there's clockwise, there's Riley Fitzcello is the metal one. The one who threw up the rock horns is Style Journeys. And then the one you thought was the punk one is the cello doll. And then the one who I initially said was the cellist is Sarah Cellobat Chaffee. So Cello Bat. Oh, wait, no. Okay, that's not right because Cello Bat is the metal one.
How come none of them are called Coachella? That would have been good.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. Man, I'm going to listen to some cello. Kanye West, All of the Lights, Epic String Quartet. Okay, yeah, fine. Go ahead.
Because I'd like to move on to the violin. Specifically, I included this one because it's really interesting to see somebody doing a cello cover video that is actually shot like a dirty mirror MySpace selfie. I mean, this is like someone with scene hair in the bathroom, setting up the camera on the counter. Doesn't this look like a MySpace profile picture? But it's a cello cover.
Or it looks like a 90s indie movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That
this
kind
looks
of
like some Larry
bathroom
Clark
lighting
thing, yeah, or something.
This is Kimberly Castle. Just a simple and short tribute to MCR. Rude comments will be ignored.
Damn.
There's no rude comments, so it worked to say that, actually.
Great.
Actually, there is one rude comment. Awesome playing, but the way you're holding the bow distracts me. I don't know why. Anyways, awesome. You hold your bow very weird, someone else said.
That isn't weird. Like, it's high. But who cares?
It's working. Don't gatekeep.
Dance to the beat of your own drummer. Violin to the bow. Your own bow position.
Bows before bros is what I say.
That's what they say.
So this, I like this one. It's just like so of an era.
Yeah, totally.
And you know what else is of an era? The final one I'm going to play.
Oh,
this is a medieval style bardcore cover of the song. I didn't know about this genre, did you?
No.
How have we never heard bardcore before?
Do they have other bard? Like, are there other? Can we pursue this?
Blackpink. We might be able to revisit this channel through MCRch, depending on what we choose.
Oh yeah, okay. Daft Punk featuring Julian Casablancas, great. Well, should we want to do final thoughts over this?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a damn court jester now. first time in my life.
Yeah, exactly.
And yours
it's
is
a
my
unique experience.
My lord. I don't know. I love the internet. I think this song cooks. Actually, I hate when I'm learning about like that there was a story behind it. I don't want to hear the lore. I would rather hear the feelings, and I feel like you're the opposite. So I feel like we're coming at this from two different places. I don't know. That's all I have to say.
Look, this song is obviously fucking great, and I love bardcore, and I love all my new cellists that I've just subscribed to. Just like, what a melody! It's an undeniable melody. It's great. You know what? At the end of this, I've decided I'm okay with I'm not okay.
It's because we were making so much eye contact, and you were doing sexy dancing on cam.
I'll close it off here.
Oh my god! What tier is this going to be?
Oh yeah, this is I don't know. Yeah, the eye contact here.
Hello, I'm back. They kept me on to continue this segment for this month. So I know what the song is. I was thinking, what can I think of that's relevant? And I know that Gerard Way wrote his first comic when he was 16 years old, which is when he would have been in high school. It was called On Raven's Wings, and he published it under the pen name Gary Way. So I just think that's interesting to, imagine if he had always been known as Gary as a front man. He also, of course, wrote Umbrella Academy, and then The True Life of the Fabulous Killjoys, and then had a stint on that Doom Patrol series. I'm sure he's still working in comics now. I don't know much about that side of him. But Gary Way, he was held up at gunpoint when he worked in a comic book shop. I think around the same time he was writing comics as a teenager, so that's something to think about as well. MCR fact.
I want to welcome back to the show an old favorite and a friend of mine. It's Vera Drew. What's up?
What's up? How you doing?
Good. It's so great to have you back, creating a waveform on my computer once again.
Yeah, it's good to be in wave form again. It's really when I feel best is when I'm just a bunch of wavy lines on a screen.
You're so wavy. I mean, it's been so long since you've been on to talk to us. I couldn't remember what episode it was. I looked up it. It was the sucking and fucking and loving Mother's Day Blink-182 episode.
It's always funny when I tell people I went on the Blink-182 podcast where they go over every song and they're like, what song did you do? It's like, well,
do I have to answer?
Can't you just still be impressed that I was on that big podcast and not have to hear me say this?
Right. I mean, it has a pretty nice title on its own, Mother's Day.
Yeah.
I think that's fine. And back then too, I remember we were talking so much about, you've done so many, I don't even know what to call them, so many kind of personal brand activations in your life. One of my favorites was when you were trying to become a Hot Topic brand ambassador, and we did nothing to help your cause. I mean, have you ever gone back to think about, do you have regrets about that? Do you have hurt feelings, or have you forgiven Hot Topic? Where are you at with the Hot Topic Corporation kind of emotionally right now?
Emotionally, I've forgiven them in as much as that's what my spiritual advisors have told me, you need to let this go. You need to stop dwelling on this, that they didn't. But if I'm being honest with myself, I'm still hurt. I'm still kind of baffled, to be honest, that they didn't jump at the chance. But although I did go back and just rewatch my first episode of the web series I did, when I announced my campaign to get Hot Topic sponsorship, and there was a lot of swearing in it, and that probably maybe, like, I'm not going to say it's the only reason I didn't get it, but I'm sure it didn't help. And I'm sure it was a large contributing factor. It was just how you never know what's going to come out of her mouth, you know?
So you think, I mean, that's interesting. The idea that Hot Topic is like secretly very concerned about swearing, but I think they must be one of those companies that's like secretly just pieces of shit, right? Like Urban Outfitters, I think, is like that too. Maybe not so secretly.
I would guess so. It's always hard. It's always hard talking about it now because it's like I still like feel the need to do bits around it. But like I think the one thing that, if I can pull back the curtain slightly, one thing that did come out of that process was really because like I did my homework. Like I looked up the company history and really kind of like immersed myself in that culture, and coming out on the other side of it, I was like even more just kind of disgusted by like fast fashion and like corporations in general, but like also just this idea of like, you know, the company started as like they were the only place in the mall that would sell band shirts, and that used to be like, it used to be hard to get band shirts. You could only get them at concerts, and like I think there's just something so cool and pure about that. And like, you know, they started it on their garage and stuff, but now you look at it and it's like, it really is just kind of like this like offshoot of Disney.
Wait, did they actually start Hot Topic like out of their garage? Like it's like Apple or something?
Yeah, no, and it's kind of, I think that was the other thing too that just like bummed me out about it. And I never really like shared this on the show because like the show was supposed to be like a celebration of these things. And I mean, if I had kept doing it, I'm sure I would have gotten to it eventually. But like, I think you can kind of like track the history of Hot Topic with just like the decline of like culture and like sort of like you can sort of track postmodernism's like rot on modern culture and like how it just has pervaded everything now to the degree where like everything's ironic and like there's no escaping it. Yeah,
that's amazing. I don't think you're done talking about Hot Topic. I think there's still something here that you need to explore. But you know, we're talking about. Somebody said when we decided to do. Oh no, this was last month. We decided to do February, Fall Out Boy month, and now of course we're into MCRch, a discussion of My Chemical Romance. Two bands that honestly, I sort of like flip flop between being indifferent or just completely hating. Like I don't really. Oh wow. It's not really my cup of tea, so to speak. But somebody did kind of comment like, "Oh, you should change this to be a podcast about Hot Topic punk bands instead of just being about punk bands." And I mean, I do think, especially it seems like My Chemical Romance is kind of directly tied to Hot Topic.
Absolutely. Oh, I would say like, because I think that's kind of a complicated description because like I mean, I don't know, like to me they're just like kind of the pop punk store in general, like and it like that cross section of pop punk and anime and shit and like nerdy horror, but if there is one band that I would say is the Hot Topic band, it is absolutely My Chemical Romance, if only because like they're like, that's where you can get like, I'm pretty sure that's the only place you can get licensed My Chemical Romance merch, but also just like, yeah, like philosophically, that is the Hot Topic band.
Yeah, like the thing is, it feels like, you know, it makes so much sense that Gerard Way went on to become just like a comic book dweeb, because it feels, from a distance at least, it feels like My Chemical Romance has always had so much lore and so much like, I don't know, just even visually, it feels like you're kind of watching a band from an anime or something.
Yeah, no, and that was like, I did a little bit of, because I you know, it's weird because like I think I'm actually kind of like you in that like I'm definitely that what you described with Fall Out Boy. Like I have songs that like if they come on, they will conjure feelings that are I can only describe as like warm nostalgia. But I think I also kind of just always, because I grew up like a few towns over from them and they were a few years older than me. I always just kind of associated them as like like rich, annoying, like everything that like people complain about pop punk being. But I think you could also kind of say the same thing about My Chemical Romance. Like, it'd be hard for me to call myself a My Chemical Romance fan just because, like, I really only do like a handful of songs. But I will say the one thing that does separate it all for me is, like, they're so theatrical. And right down to the point that, like, I didn't even really realize this until I was, like, doing some research today. But, like, 3 Cheers for Revenge is kind of a concept album. And it's like... That is so dumb and makes so much sense, and good for you guys.
Well, before we get into the song, kind of while we're on the topic of MCRch, Hot Topic, when I was searching through your tweets to learn that you were an MCR head, I noticed that a recurring theme is that you seem to love this My Chemical Romance mini backpack that you have. Tell us a bit about your My Chemical Romance mini backpack, which is a bit of a tongue twister.
You know what? That mini backpack is just it's one of the things that I most commonly associate with like what my mission statement of Hot Topic was. Cause like my entire life, you know, like as growing up trans and like being so in the closet and not having the language for like how to describe myself at all, there was one thing I was always certain about, and it was that like I wanted a tiny backpack and I wanted to wear mascara and eyeliner. And like, so like, I don't know, there's something about having it now and definitely like walking around with it as like a 33-year-old woman that really does just, I don't know, it really does kind of just fill my heart with joy. And like, I can have these moments throughout the day where I'm like, we're finally free, sister. We can I can wear all the makeup we want. It doesn't have to be just the emo outfit. And we can carry any mini backpack we want.
Yeah, I mean, that does sound wonderful to carry a mini bag. I'm doing an image search. There's all kinds of My Chemical Romance backpacks, but some of them are just gigantic also. But, I mean, can you fit enough stuff in the mini backpack, or is it kind of more of a fashion? Do you need to also carry like a tote or something as well?
It really depends. I mean, I brought it along for a hike the other day, and I was able to get some snacks in there, some marijuana and you know, like in my keys and stuff. Like I think mini backpacks are actually underrated as just like purses or carry-alls. Like you can fit a surprising amount in them. And I would also say it depends on the durability, because the one thing I will say about the My Chemical Romance mini backpack that I have, it is definitely falling apart because it was cheaply made by Hot Topic.
And because it sounds like you've loved it so much for so many years too.
Yeah. No, it's gone a lot of places with me.
So you requested to talk about the song "I'm Not Okay," which is definitely, I agree with you. Like for me, Fall Out Boy is pretty much, I actually think, all stinkers, mostly because I cannot stand Patrick Stump's vocals. But My Chemical Romance, I feel like, has this interesting polarity of like songs like this or Welcome to the Black Parade, or like some of the hits are like unbelievably huge anthems, and then sometimes people will be like, oh, you should listen to the album, and I listen to some of the album cuts and I'm like, how is this even the same band?
It's crazy,
it's ridiculous. But this song you've chosen for this week is like an undeniable huge banger. Tell me about your history with this song.
I remember the first My Chemical Romance song I heard, and it was You Know What They Do to Guys Like Us in Prison. And I did not like it. Firstly, I mean, anything with like a prison R reference usually has a strike against it for me. But the one thing I did feel like listening to it was like, oh, this is like, there's a lot going on here. And like, just as like a 16-year-old gay, like I was into musical theater and stuff. And I think even just in that song alone, I could kind of recognize that stuff you're talking about. So then I checked out the other stuff on the album, and I don't remember listening to I'm Not Okay the first time. I know I listened to the album the whole way through when I like started listening to them, but the song didn't stick for me until I saw the music video on MTV, and it was the second music video that's structured like a trailer, and there was something about watching it with the visuals and with like, the cheesy words and like the tongue-in-cheek like Rushmore vibe to it all that like really just, I don't know, like it was like my brain exploded when I watched it, and was like, I felt instantly kind of almost like it's crazy, but like I felt like understood by the song in a way that like I didn't really have with a lot of other songs at the time. And because of that, that was the first music video, in addition to, Miss You by our favorite band, Blink 182.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the first ones I really like binging constantly.
Wow. So that, yeah, I mean, thematically they are kind of the same. They're kind of like a goth light. Both of those bands kind of look that way. So prior to seeing this video and having it blow your mind, or getting into MCR and eventually getting the backpack, what were you listening to before that?
I think like my primary like frame of reference for like it's weird because like I was not into emo and pop punk really. I would have never said that about myself probably until after getting into My Chemical Romance. But I was really into, that era of Blink, like their self-titled album, was one of the other few things that like really just hit for me and like spoke to me. So I'd say Blink, Green Day, but then, like I was also like, I was like listening to Andrew Lloyd Webber, and like I was really into Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat and like Little Shop of Horrors, and so yeah, I feel like it only kind of makes sense. I feel like you could track the lineage, right?
It makes perfect sense. It's like they focus grouped you and then created this band just for you.
Yeah, no. That's what's like kind of honestly a little bit of a bummer, like when I do hear their other tracks, because I'm just like, oh guys, why can't you just make my kind of My Chemical Romance music?
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, I'm hoping this month to really dig into. I got to first figure out what I think is the worst My Chemical Romance song, and then maybe we'll spend some time looking, because I like looking at that kind of stuff and eventually trying to understand it. I think it's probably me just wanting to roast things, but I pretend that it's trying to be like empathetic towards art.
Hey, I think on some level empathy can come from looking down on something. So, I think I'm going to join you. I'm definitely going to be listening along with you, because like when I found out you were doing this, I was like, you know what? I need to like go back into the catalog, because I kind of also just want to give stuff another shot, because
it's fun. Yeah. I think it's also like, one of my really pretentious things that I like to say all the time, to the point where I think even in this episode or recently Sam was really roasting me for it, is I actually love new Weezer. I think that it's like interesting when someone has such a large body of work and so much of it is so shitty that you can just kind of like really get in the muck with them and work it out together.
Totally. Well, that's what I love about the fucking Beach Boys. Like,
yeah,
like I heard somebody the other day say, like, oh, A Day in the Life is the Beatles, God Only Knows, which I don't know. I'm not really a Beatles person, but I was like really just sitting there thinking about it. And it's like, the Beatles are impressive, I guess, because like they made so much prolific stuff and changed culture in a very short amount of time. But the Beach Boys and bands like that have these albums that are like fucking like unreal, like Friends, Smile, Pet Sounds, obviously, like, and then just the craziest, most horrible Mike Love bullshit. To me, that's a sign of actual greatness, and that you can have, a catalog full of stinkers. So I think it's,
it's
all
true.
the more reason to give Mike Chemical Romance a fair shot.
Doesn't that make you think that maybe there's like, what if Mike Love has like a masterpiece buried in there somewhere, and just no one's bothered looking for it?
No, I mean, I'm convinced that it's in there. I'm sure. I'm almost sure of it. And like, I think that is the thing that is beautiful too about bands like that, you know, versus like these kind of like monolith. Because I would even say like, you know, Blink is kind of almost like the Beatles in the case of what we're talking about. Although I know you are way more in the have been way more in the trenches there. So you've heard all of the garbage.
There's a lot of trash.
I don't know. Like, there's something. I think there's something really just, you know, as somebody who makes art and doesn't always feel good about it, you know, after it's done, like, I don't know. It makes, I definitely get more comfort knowing that like somebody who makes some of my favorite things could also make things that I find completely repellent.
But I guess the difference with My Chemical Romance is that at least, you know, it's the start of the month. I don't really know what I'm talking about yet, but my understanding is it's not like they drop some classic albums and then they drop some dog shit. It's like all of their albums have classic moments and then really annoying songs mixed in. That's interesting.
Completely, yeah.
That's rare, I think.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that's this just even, you know, thematically what for me is like kind of just I was a dorky teenager, but, and I wasn't, you know, like, out of control in like a drug way yet, but like I was like very chaotic and very just like sick. I had like a sickness that ran under me and like a detachment, and that would also be like have occasionally these sparks of positivity and beauty, and like I'd feel very inspired or like would meet people that, you know, changed my life and stuff like that. Like I really connected with just like Gerard Way's fucking oblivion and like complete lack of like self-control, both as like a human and just from what because that's what I really do read all this as, is like he's just an out of control artist, and like it probably doesn't really quite like they as a band they're probably not really like questioning too much when they're putting stuff out. Like they're following their intuition, which honestly, like good art should kind of be doing that.
That's so true. Yeah, totally. Well, I feel like you just had me really thinking about Joker vibes, but I don't want to move on to that just yet. First, I want to ask you, you were talking about you're attracted to the theatricality of it. Shockingly to me, my co-host Sam is like the most theatrical motherfucker I've ever met. And even he thinks that it's too much for the song to be called I'm Not Okay, and then in parentheses, I promise.
I promise.
How do you feel about the song title?
I love it. You know, it's crazy because it's like I watched the music video several times today, and part of it was so I could just like read all of the text that like is in the like fake trailer, and like it's so on the nose. It's so like there's no shame, and to me that's I love that parentheses I promise, because it's like, you know what, you guys are corny as fuck, but you don't really seem to care about that, like and like that's, I think that's also why this is my favorite song of theirs, because is probably because this music video also has that, where it's just like so cringe. So fucking cringe and sincere.
Someone's blocking the alley outside, if anyone's wondering what that honking is. It's not, maybe they're agreeing with what Vera is saying about the lyrics. Yeah, it almost reminds me actually of, I don't know if you've seen this or if we've talked about it, but oh my god. Did you hear that?
Yeah,
that's great. I don't know if you've seen this, but there's like a documentary about the making of the American Idiot musical on Broadway called Broadway Idiot. It's like, it's the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen in my life. Like Jim from the Newsroom plays like the main punker guy, and it's all about them kind of finding their. It's kind of like. It's kind of like Waiting for Guffman, I guess, mixed with like terrible pop punk culture. It's perfect. It's incredible. But it kind of is giving me that vibe. And I'm also feeling like maybe even Lin-Manuel Miranda must be a My Chemical Romance fan.
You know, if he is, he'd have a lot less hatred for me. It would also explain a lot, but yeah, no, oh my God. I mean, just side note about that American Idiot documentary. Like when I was editing on season 2 of I Think You Should Leave, because Tim Robinson is, you know, he skates, like he likes the punk and the pop punk, and that was kind of usually what we could kind of bond over. And he was like, "You got to see this fucking documentary. It's crazy." It was like literally somebody says at some point, "Let's start a war, shall we?"
Yeah, it's so
and
good.
so I put it on. I'm so stoked because, you know, Green Day, they're one of my favorite bands growing up, but like, you know, they're Green Day, and that album is what it is, and the fact that it's a Broadway musical is what it is too. And I started it though, and I had this reaction where I was like, oh no, is this a cultural divide between me and my current employer? Because I might be too gay for this. This might be too, like, I might be so gay that I can't actually see the fault in this. But I did eventually. I eventually got very embarrassed for everybody involved.
Wow.
And especially like once Billy Joe is participating in it, and
oh my God. I can't
it's worth checking out.
One of my favorite lines is, but I forget what I think he says, like, "Let's escape to Shit Town" or something, or he says Shit Town, I think. It's so good. But anyways, you're kind of describing your upbringing as being this kind of, I mean, honestly, it felt like you were describing the Joker without saying it. And that's kind of something you've been working on for years, is the People's Joker. For those who maybe haven't listened in the past or just catching up, maybe explain what that is and when it's coming out, because I cannot wait to see it.
Yeah, so kind of off of Hot Topics, I started making an illegal, like, found footage Joker movie, and like right around the start of the pandemic. And as I was doing it, I was getting progressively more unemployed and just inspired by the material I was working with, and really kind of had this. I fell back in love with, like, Batman and Joker and all that stuff, like, in a very, like, sincere way, and ultimately decided to make my own Joker movie off of sort of the creative direction that, you know, my found footage experiment was headed in. And for the last 2 years, I've been piecing that together, and it's like a kind of a queer coming of age Joker origin story about a unfunny, untalented clown named Joker who finds herself and love and old foes all in Gotham City. And it's completely unlicensed by DC. I'm not really sure what my release plan is quite yet. Warner Brothers is now aware of it. They know it exists.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they want to see it. It appears that I'm not going to get sued.
Oh, good.
Yeah, which is good, but there is some disappointment there, you know, because I was hoping, you know, for at least one article out of that. I mean, getting sued, you know.
Yeah, that's true. That's good press.
That's good PR. But but yeah, it's almost done. I'm finishing up visual effects right now, and we're just trying to get it into, like, festivals and stuff. And yeah, and if anybody wants to hear more about the project or help support it, you can visit thepeoplesjoker.com. It's been a fucking blast putting it together. I mean, you want to talk about, like, theatrical and unashamedly sincere, like, the movie is, like, you don't get any more in that. There's not multiple music numbers in this, but there might as well be.
You should call it The People's Joker, and then in parentheses, I promise.
I love that. Yeah, I will consider that, actually. That's I mean, that'll tell you what you're getting into right away, I hope.
Well, before we let you go, is there anything else people should check out or where they should follow you or whatever?
I'm not really, I don't really have anything out right now, which is always a bummer. But you can follow me at Vera Drew 22 on Instagram and Twitter. I should say I'm in the middle of a major Twitter reboot. I'm completely rebooting my Twitter identity.
Wow. But I feel like I just noticed that the My Chemical Romance tweets disappeared in real time while we were talking. It's incredible. It's like a magic trick.
Somebody like a few weeks ago, because I deleted a tweet. I won't say what the tweet was because I deleted it for a reason. Somebody DM'd me and in a very accusatory fashion said, it's really shady to delete tweets. And that was my inspiration. I was like, you know what? Then I'm going to delete every single thing I've ever tweeted.
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Amazing. Well, thank you again for stopping by.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure. And I love the show and I love talking about this stuff.
Reading from songmeanings.com. Gerard himself has said that this song is about the fact that he kind of had this thing with some girl and he was like in love with her, but she had a boyfriend and she took all these slutty pictures with her boyfriend and Gerard got upset. The song is about him just not being okay at all, mentally nor emotionally. It's an answer to the ever so frequent question, are you okay? Most people will say that they're fine even if they aren't. Gerard's just like, fuck that, no, as a matter of fact, I am not okay. I'm just kind of rambling now. Good song, like Oh My God's MCR totally rocks for real. One ha ha ha. By You'll Be a Memory on October 12th, 2004. And the next. I downloaded this song the other day and really like it. Hopefully the new CD holds up to the expectations I have for it. I think this song is pretty self-explanatory. I read that this was a concept album where some guy dies. Either the girl kills him or something like that and he comes back to avenge his death. So I think that can add some insight to all the songs on 3 Cheers by Josh Belcher, May 18th, 2004.
The Complaint Department. 155 Podcast.
The Complaint Department. 155 Podcast.
The Complaint Department. 155 Podcast.
Hey, Sam and Josiah. Day one listener. First time caller. 2 quick things. We'll get to complain a bit. 1, Sam, really regret not saying hi to you at Jay's game last September, but it was a bit of a problem because, I'm about to go say hi as we were walking on the concourse, but you just sort of ran up to the field and just opened your arms very theatrically, I guess, at first sight of the turf there. Maybe you saw Josh Donaldson. They were playing the Twins. Anyways, I thought, that guy's fine. I thought, I don't need to bug that guy. He's doing his thing. And then the complaint that I have is, look, we're coming to the end of February. For all those who celebrate, it's been a very difficult week for fans of Fob who like the show, and we are out there. You cowards like to act like we're not there. I would consider myself an equal fan of both Fob and Blink-182, and I want to thank you two on a very serious note for changing the way I think about music and how I sort of interpret critiques of music over the last couple of years. It's been honestly mind-blowing. I talk about it to a lot of people all the time for no reason. But the complaint, again, with that all said, the complaint that I have is, I don't know, you guys are you're just really mean at Fob for no reason. Fob and Blink-182 are almost the exact same thing. They're the exact same thing, actually. They're the same. I know that Uma Thurman's cringe, but good, late stuff's cringe. I'll keep this short. Maybe you guys are just a bit too old. You ever thought about just, you're just a bit too old? Anyways, can't wait for the all-time low episode. Appreciate it. Thanks, you two. Bye.